Well, I'm in my hospital room that stayed at last night. Had a couple of meals, had dinner, which was okay. It was sort of an Asian, what was it called again? Just a toss sort of stir fry, an Asian stir fry. It was quite okay. The veggies were overdone, but it was quite tasty. And had pumpkin soup. That was quite nice, and a couple of other things, some yogurt and some other stuff, and they were quite reasonable. I've got to be careful I don't do that. I've got to stop touching my eyes because I've just had my right eye exposed to the world because I went and had my consult this morning around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they removed the mask that they had on over the eye for the night, and it looks okay. Everything seems fine, but I've got to put eye drops in every 4 hours for the next couple of weeks at least, on top of the normal eye drops I've got to do. So there's a lot of maintenance required. I've got to keep it dry. I can't shower, let shower water into it. You've got to basically stop infection, so I've got to be very careful. But I was hoping to be going home today on Friday because I got the okay to fly. The only problem is there are no available seats for any flights from Brisbane to Cairns today. It looks as though the soonest I'll be able to get home is tomorrow. I think it's a Jetstar flight at 2:55 is the first flight available. It's quite extraordinary. I never knew it would be this bad. I was a bit worried about the arrangements, and I was thinking that maybe if I'd contacted the travel people in Cairns the day before, when I'd actually found out I didn't have gas in the eye, so I was able to fly, that they might be able to book something ahead for me, but no, they can't until they get the okay after they've examined you after the operation the following day. In other words, this morning. They can't do anything until that okay has been given by the doctors. So it wouldn't have helped anyway, apparently. So basically, I'm just stuck here in Brisbane for another day, and hopefully I'll be flying out tomorrow. But even that, I think it's the last flight that's available at this stage. There was a flight in the morning, about 6:20 in the morning, but it was a convoluted flight that you would have to go through certain destinations before you even got to Cairns. So it wasn't worth it. The 2:55 flight is a direct flight to Cairns, so that's much. And I think they both get in about the same time, but at least the Cairns flight's direct. So that's the best option, but it's not a guarantee yet. I've asked them to book it for me, but I haven't heard back from them yet. So until I hear that the flight has been booked, I don't know how long I'm going to be in Brisbane. They will either put me up in the hospital or an apartment or somewhere else I can stay in the next 24 hours. That would be better because then I might have better Wi-Fi if I'm in an apartment. But we'll see what they come up with. So they will make an arrangement, so I won't be out of pocket if I do stay at in the hospital. It's a bit of a drag, but at least I get free food, I guess. All my meals are covered. But yeah, I'd rather be in an apartment if I could be. But let's just see what they come up with. I'm just the waiting game at the moment, so I'm totally in limbo. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this hospital. It's quite good. It's the same hospital I stayed in last time. You got that very attractive colonial type place across the way. Actually, I'll just change. There we go. Now you should be able to see it. Yeah, just outside the window there, you can see that there's an old building there. I think last time I was actually on the first or ground floor, probably first floor. I think I was last time. Now I'm up on the 6th floor. So there's a sort of a plaza area with plants just here that they've built. It's very attractive, and you see across the way you've got the balcony area with chairs and what have you. As hospitals go, it's pretty good. So I've got no complaints there. I just don't want to be spending this much time in a hospital. And I'm going to have to come back in 2 weeks to have a check-up on my eyes anyway. So I'm going to be back in Brisbane, hopefully just for the day, because, I do miss being at home and I want to go back to my house. But I'm going to have to wait another 24 hours by the looks of things, which is a bit of a drag. Just got a message from my cousin asking me whether I can get a cancellation flight if one of those flights is cancelled. I already actually asked the travel people in Cairns the same question, and they said no. Basically, I'm screwed. So it's worth trying any angle. I even asked about the getting the train, and they said no, it's not on either. And apparently the sleeper seats sell faster than even the normal seats, so that doesn't help it either. So just basically, I think she said something about the airfare being around $1,000, which is just ridiculous. $1,000 from Brisbane to Cairns. So something funny's going on. I mean, there's just the planes are so packed at the moment. I've noticed that with both flights that I took a couple of weeks ago, there was just no spare seats at all. So the airlines are able to gouge big time. So just the way it is. Yeah, this morning I just had bacon and eggs with toast and muesli. What else was there? Something else as well. The bacon and eggs were okay, but the toast was pretty ordinary. I had Vegemite as a spread, and stuff I don't normally eat, so it was nice for a change. But like I said, the bread was pretty ordinary. My roommate, Mickey, who's an 85-year-old guy, also had eye surgery. He warned me that the toast was pretty damn horrible, and it wasn't great, I've got to say. But the other part of it, I had a coffee, and that was okay. So yeah, it was all right. But Mickey's actually a vegan. Well, not 100% because he has butter, so he's not a total vegan. Well, not butter actually, milk. He has milk, so he's not strictly a vegan. But he's a bit of a character. He had a stroke, and as a consequence, has problems with his eyes, and he's going to have to have his other eye fixed as well. And he suffers short-term memory loss. Apparently he's lost memory for the last 5 years, but the long-term memory is still intact, so part of his brain was damaged. And he now is in a situation where he forgets what happened the previous 24 hours, so he's reliving the same day all the time. So interesting way to get around, I guess. So yep, you meet all types. I thought he was going to be a bit of a pain because he turned the TV on last night really early, and it's really noisy. But he was only listening to watching stuff for about half an hour, and then went silent again. It could have been worse. He was reasonably considerate, although a bit noisy, but not too bad. I don't know what's going to happen tonight if I'm in the hospital. Of course, it's just potluck who I'm with. If they get me an apartment, of course, I'll have my own place, and that would be ideal, especially if they've got reasonable Wi-Fi. That would be good, because the Wi-Fi here is really not good enough to even really watch YouTube on my tablet. So, it could be better. But anyway, I'm just waiting around, waiting, and hopefully a decision will be made soon. I'll know where I'm going to be in the next 24 hours and get a confirmation that I can actually fly back to Cairns at around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a huge relief, that's all I can say. Just got to order my second lunch here. And I did that using a screen over there that hangs over the where the TV is over the bed. Just use the normal sort of a computer screen and you pick your order. So you can basically do it all day. It's very flexible. That's one good thing I like about the this particular hospital. I've got an Asian stir fry here. They could probably put a bit more rice on it. That's my only little quirk there because, the one I had yesterday was quite nice. The veggies were overcooked, especially the greens, but that's pretty standard, I think, in these big commercial kitchens. They don't blanch green vegetables, unfortunately. They just cook them to extinction. But I've got some hot chocolate there. I've got wholemeal bread. Take note, Woolworths. The hospital provides you with the choice. Got some juice, that's pear juice. Ice cream. God, what have I got here? Pears or something like that. Yeah, that's a mixed salad or whatever. Yogurt. And what have we got here? Oh, cream caramel. Yeah. And that's the soup. So yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, and it's pretty well runs the gamut of what you can get. You can also have cereal if you want. So it's a reasonably wide menu, although it hasn't changed since yesterday. So I don't know how often they rotate it. You can also order pizza. I might try that next. And it wasn't terrific like home, like store-bought pizza, but it was okay, but fairly bland. But anyway, that's it. So I'll hoe in and have another lunch because I'm stuck here. I'm not going to an apartment because that was the two options were either stay at the hospital or move elsewhere, but I'm at the hospital until tomorrow. I'll get to have breakfast and then I'll be heading off to the airport finally, and that'll be a big relief and I can get back home. Wow, what a great concept, having a home. Fairly unique. I haven't got anybody sharing the room at this stage, but someone will probably come in the next few hours, so we'll see how it all goes. Well, finally got my confirmation that my flight is happening today. I'm finally going home. I've got a 2:55 flight, Jetstar flight from the domestic terminal. It's just about 8 o'clock right now. I've got to have some more eye drops. I've got so many eye drops, so many meds to take. It's unbelievable. But I think that they'll be the last couple for a while, although I've got to take these ones every 4 hours. So, yeah, I'm on a short leash when it comes to medication. I had to put a little cover on my right eye, a plastic guard with perforations in it. And I was very squinty when I woke up. It was actually just sealed. I have to force my eye open, and it was really irritated for at least half an hour or so, but now it's feeling a lot better. The good news, though, is that I've got much better clarity with it. If I can actually read this stuff, which I could not do it in a million years before. So actually now I can actually see defined letters and what have you, rather than just shapes and whatnot. So, yeah, my eyesight's definitely improved in the right eye, so that's the most important thing. I can definitely get a flight home today, which is a huge relief for me because, I didn't realise it was going to be so problematic just getting back to Cairns, but apparently it is. The guy who's actually sharing the place, sharing this room, he actually had to go to a different hospital prior to this one, and he had problems with his eye operation, so he's had to come here to get the eyes fixed up. In spite, it can be a pain when you're sharing because he was watching TV constantly, and I can't stand the sound of broadcast TV. And the real problem is, last night he went to sleep but he left the TV on. So I had to listen to the damn TV till about 9:45, and I got a nurse to come round, and she just turned it off for me. I was going to get some sedatives from him, but I didn't actually need to. I actually slept pretty well after midnight, so I had the best night's sleep I've had for a while, so that's good. But this morning, as soon as he woke up, he put the bloody TV back on and it's blaring away. To be fair, he did ask me if it was too noisy. And I think I said, look, as long as it doesn't go too late. But unfortunately, he doesn't switch off the TV when he goes to sleep. And again, he had to go downstairs to do his evaluation with his eyes down on the ground floor. And he left the TV on when he was wheeled off in the wheelchair. So I had to turn the TV off to get rid of that damn noise. Because to me, it might as well be industrial sound. It's just horrible. I just can't stand listening to broadcast TV. And of course, I cop ads on YouTube because I'm actually using my my tablet as opposed to the PC at home or the laptop. I don't. The ad blockers get rid of the ads, so it appears the ad blockers have won the first round against YouTube, who's trying to force ads upon us, but it's not working. So there's something weird going on here. The ads aren't as bad, at least in most cases. So they only start at the beginning of the video, and there are a couple of others if it's a long video, but it's not quite as irritating as it was before. I think they might have got a few complaints about it because they just went crazy with ads and it would have pissed a lot of people off. But short term, I can put up with it. But I'm looking forward to getting back home and then I won't have to listen to any ads anymore on YouTube, which will be great. So that's about it. I had just had breakfast. I'll say one thing, they don't skimp on the bacon. I had bacon and eggs and they gave me a decent amount of bacon and I had scrambled eggs and I had yogurt and I had fruit and I had coffee. Only one sugar with the coffee though. I thought they might have given a couple of sachets as a standard issue, but no, there's only one. But it was okay. Nowhere near as good as the one I make at home, but it'll suffice. And as you can see, I'm getting a little irritated. The sun's come out and that's irritating my eyes. So yeah, but the most important thing is this piece of paper confirming I've got the flight. I'm really happy about that. So all the other little irritants are nothing compared to getting this issue resolved. So that's great. So there you go. I'll be back in Cairns sometime tonight. It may be a delayed flight, but hopefully I'll be back there at some time tonight. Hopefully just after 5, but you never know. Yeah, this is a ground floor of stars and it's so quiet. It's incredible. Oh God, this weather's looking bad. I don't think I will walk to the... it looks horrible. Yeah, it doesn't look as good when I'm downstairs. I might have to go to the bus stop, I think. This is not looking good at all. I have to go to Roma Street and then get to the airport. So, ooh, look at that. It's pretty settled in. Not good. Yeah, it's absolutely pissing down. Apparently every bus goes to Roma Street, so that makes it easy. There you go. It's coming down quite heavily. I could see on the radar map, the rain radar map looked pretty bad. So there's no way I'm walking to Bowen Hills today. Well, it's absolutely pissing down at the station. You see just a total blanket of grey skies. Yeah. Just, I hope I can get undercover to get into the Jetstar departure. And there's no rush. I've got plenty of time. So that's one thing. No pressure whatsoever. Well, even by Jetstar standards, I'd say that the check-in they've got here, which is a half-assed sort of temporary setup, is one of the worst I've ever seen. It's just, it's so easy to miss because it's just a very short corridor you've got to go through. You'd think a Jetstar want to be much bigger than that, but it's only a small entrance, so it totally threw me. It must be while they're building the terminal, but it's just crazy to how small it is. So yeah, I don't know. I've got to get my drops done and then get some other stuff organised, and I'm here a bit early. I think you can only check in with Jetstar about 2 hours prior to the flight, so I might have to wait. But yeah, I walked straight past it because I can't see the signage. So I asked the guy and he pointed me in that direction because, oh dear. Anyway, well, I know where at least the security check is because I walked past that section, so at least I won't have any problems there. Anyway, we'll get these eye drops sorted and then some other stuff done, and then I can have a go. I've got about 30 minutes to wait before I can check in if it is a 2 hour before the flight. And it's a really crappy looking day outside. Apparently my flight's on time, but hopefully it stays that way. They're boarding for a Proserpine one, and that's actually late. So we'll see. I did find a site online that does give information about flights from leaving from Brisbane. I might check it out again to see how accurate it is, but it confirmed that I am at the right place, so that's nice. Well, the good news is the plane appears to have arrived, but it's pissing down worse than ever. So I hope we're okay getting up in the air. I think they're all right. There's no thunder or icing or anything, so I suppose it's all right. I'm looking forward to having a feed with Sid. I said I'd shout him a meal, and he's agreed to that, so that's good. So looking forward to that and having a few beers. It'd be a nice change after my alcohol-free sojourn. It's yeah, hopefully we'll get off on time and everything runs smoothly. Fingers crossed. Well, it's not quite so anything's possible. And I've got a window seat, which is amazing because I've got a very helpful guy help me get the boarding pass printed, because Jetstar's doing the same as Qantas now. They're not printing them up, so going to have to do them ahead of time on the phone, which I still don't think is a great idea, but whatever. Oh, it's back to Cairns on the bus. Resuming my routine. I'm going to have to go to Brisbane in a week or two's time for a consult, but after that I'll be free until just before Christmas, so I'll be able to take a bit of time to relax, and that's what I've been doing the last few days. I've been quite fatigued after that operation and trip, so still quite tender in the right eye, and I have to take 4 drops a day just to as antiseptics. So there's quite a bit involved still. Hopefully that'll only be able until I have the consult, and I'll drop all that, so get back to a more normal regimen of medications. Oh yeah, I'm pretty tired. I haven't walked or done anything. The only thing I've really done is a bit of watering in the garden. That's about it. I had a Sid kindly pick me up from the airport. The plane was supposed to get in at 5:10 on Saturday and got in at almost 5:50. So I don't know what was going on there. And the other thing gets me is that when we were disembarking, there was only one door open at the front, even though there was a set of stairs on the tarmac just diagonally opposite the plane that could have actually allowed us to get out about twice as fast through the rear as well, but they didn't bother. I think it's a sign that Jetstar and Qantas are acting like a monopoly, because I don't give a crap about customer service anymore. It's just not an issue. And I also got sent back. I went in to try, when I was boarding, I was sent back again by Jetstar this time, because I can't hear their stupid instructions about who can actually board the plane. And I think it's a total waste of time anyway. I don't think it really makes things that much easier at all. It's just, but there's no, my hearing has gone to the extent that I can never hear those PA announcements. So I've got no idea what's going on. So just, again, bad customer service. There's nothing written down. At least in Asia, when they do something dumb like that, they usually have a sign saying which rows can board, but not Jetstar. It's just verbal and through a PA, which is not really adequate in my opinion. Anyway, I got home and that was a big relief in itself, and the plane at least wasn't cancelled like the Qantas one, so that was good. And I had a bang up meal at the Trinity Sports Club. I shouted Sid a meal, which is the least I could do considering he gave me a lift to the airport and back again. So more than happy to do that. And it was very nice too, very filling. God, the quantity of food at the Trinity Beach Sports Club is just extraordinary. They don't skimp. So that's my situation right now. I'm just got to. I think the eye definitely improved after the op. The visual acuity was definitely better, so that's good. You know, it worked, and it'll get better as time goes on. And the most important thing is that they didn't have to use gas, so I can fly down to Melbourne for Christmas, and I could fly back here, and that was fantastic because otherwise I'd have to get the train, and there's no guarantee you can get a seat on the train, let alone the flights. And as I said, I was stranded in Brisbane for another 24 hours because there was just no flights available on Friday. No spare flights. Just extraordinary. Another indication that we have a monopoly airline situation. I mean, Virgin don't really supply and have enough flights to be a proper competition. I wish they would because they're a much better airline. So I think they'd kill Jetstar and Qantas if they, were able to compete on a level playing field regarding the number of flights they had. So maybe they are planning to ramp it up. They'd be crazy not to, because if I can't even get a flight on a Friday, I just think that's very strange. I think in the past there was always flights available, but of course they cost more if you got them at last minute. My flight on Saturday, the following day, at 2:55 in the afternoon from Brisbane to Cairns, cost a whopping $749. So that's what the state taxpayers have to fork out for my trip back, which is really high. I mean, normally it's not cheap, it's around $400, but of course the airlines are gouging again. You'd think they'd have some agreement with the government over if they're bulk purchasing tickets, but maybe need Elon Musk and Trump in there to negotiate something with them, because I think we're getting ripped off. Oh, the bus driver actually stopped at the closest stop today. So that was really nice of him. It's only the second time it's happened since Kinetic's has taken over the buses. In the good old Sunbus days, that was a normal thing, but they've taken the humanity out of the bus driving profession, as it were. So it's been a good day. Got out of the hospital pretty early today, and it's only about 10 to 1, and I'm already home. Brilliant, after doing my supermarket shopping at Smithfield. So, got everything I needed, I think. And I might get a delivery from Coles on Thursday, get back in the old pattern. But we'll see how it goes. But looking forward to my morning cup of coffee early afternoon. It's always a nice thing to come home to. When I have a morning appointment, I always defer my coffee until I return from the bus trip. Oh, it's a warm one today though. Bit of a breeze, but it's a warm breeze, and yeah, it feels particularly hot. Feels very summery today. So I might enjoy that break down in Melbourne weather-wise, apart from anything else. I mean, it's always obviously great to catch up with relatives at Christmas, but also it might be a respite from the weather. But you never know with Melbourne, it could be the opposite. It could be cool up here and bloody hot down there. Hopefully not. The odds are in my favour. Well, it's Friday, and leaving a little earlier today to the pub because I've got to pick up some eye drops and other meds from the chemist in Trinity Beach. So
do a slight diversion today. It's quite a strong breeze from the south, and there's been, if you look at the radar, we're surrounded by showers. There's a lot out in the ocean and north of us, but we've missed most of it. We got a little bit of rain today, but not much. So I think Townsville would have copped a lot of rain by the looks of the radar, but we seem to have missed out again. Just got a sprinkling in effect. It's a bit disappointing. I don't want it to rain right now because I've got to walk to the pub. I always enjoy walking there, get a good thirst, enjoy the beer a lot more that way. And seeing I've got to pick up these prescriptions anyway, I kill two birds with one stone. So just I'll do a waypoint at the chemist in Trinity Beach, and then off to the pub. So that's good. But slowly but surely, I think my right eye is recovering. It's still a bit squinty and a little scratchy, but I guess it'll get better. Got to go back to Brisbane soon, just for the day, which is a drag, which means I've got to get up about 4 AM to get a 6 o'clock flight to Brisbane for an appointment. I'll be there for a couple of hours with some tests and a consultation, and I'm back on the return flight. It seems a lot of rigmarole just for one consultation, but I guess the specialists are just not prepared to leave Brisbane to come to provincial areas, unfortunately. So this is the way they're doing it at the moment. I think it's a bit wasteful, because I mean, you can't tell me that a $749 flight from Brisbane back to Cairns is good value, and it was just a Jetstar flight, a bog standard Jetstar flight. As a matter of fact, it was in the last row, so it's just nothing luxurious about it whatsoever. And I couldn't even they didn't even open up the rear of the plane. So yeah, just, I don't know, I don't know if the taxpayers will be overly impressed with that. We do have a new government here. Maybe they'll change the policy regarding medical travel. I don't know. I mean, Queensland is unusual in that we have a widespread population right along the east coast, and you know, both Townsville and Cairns, there's over 300,000 people combined with both populations, and then you've got the areas around there that they cater to. It's even greater. So I suppose you could safely say 500,000 people or so. It's quite a few to service, and I mean, I think maybe it wouldn't hurt the medicos to just come up here on a regular basis so we don't have to do the trips ourselves. Alright, I just got the prescriptions. Unfortunately, I missed out on one of them because it was out of date. I've got to get another one for it's a preventative for asthma. It's amazing, only one puff a day, but boy, it works well. I used to have really bad asthma as a kid, but that sort of medication works brilliantly. So just had to go to the doc and get some more. I've got a few puffs left in the current puffer, but not much. So yeah, it's typical of me. I can't see. I've got to be so careful reading the dates on these prescriptions, because it was a total jumble of a whole lot of different prescriptions, 3 different pads. So it was quite confusing today, and I didn't look at the dates on all of them. So no big deal, not life-threatening, but better get it because it does work well. So yeah, the main thing is got all those eye drops. I definitely need those until my eyes are mended. So this is the park that's next to the shops. It's quite nice. Walked through there once when I first came up here, checking out a place to stay, a place to buy, and yeah, it's quite a nice little urban park there. And you've got the community centre next to it, which is not so nice probably, but I've never been inside. But got a bit of a breeze going up towards Trinity Beach, no surprise there. And I think I've earned myself a beer. The 25-minute walk from Kawara to Trinity Beach certainly got a bit of sweat on my brow because of that. So there's Earl's Hill, seems to dominate everything around here. The most elevated place, close by that is. The other hills are a bit higher but further back. It's very attractive. I was very impressed with Trinity Beach when I first saw it, and I did stay for a week at Marlin Cove, which is off to the left there, and that was quite nice. But you wouldn't want to buy one of those places because you pay really high body corporate management fees. They've got manager on site, I think, and the fees are just ridiculous. So I just don't think it's good value. I stayed clear of those places, looked for much cheaper body corporate. It's the way to go because that's your ongoing costs. I mean, if you've got a loan, you've got to worry about your mortgage repayments, you've got to have body corporate on top of it. It starts to mount up. Oh, well, I'm off to the liquor lounge up at Kawara once again. 15% sale today, so that's pretty good. That's the best deal they've had. So getting the usual consignment, 2 bottles of the clean skin gin and 1 bottle, a litre bottle of Sailor Jerry again. So that's gone up in price. It was 63, going up to 66 on special. But with the 15%, it's pretty well the same price. And the gin's even cheaper because of the 15% deal. That's a very good deal. So, yeah, Mondays is a good time to buy your cheap liquor. And I imagine I'm not the only person that will be picking up today from Liquorland. I think it's quite a popular service to get save money. Everybody's trying to save money, of course. Yeah, I've been had to do a big clean up today. A lot of foliage has been deposited in the yard, and it's a plant that I have to actually cut up. It's got a great defense mechanism. It's got sort of a bushy type system with its with the branches, and you have to cut them all back. I can't just shove it in the bin. I have to first cut it up to get it in there. So it's a bit of a pain, and there's a hell of a lot of stuff that's fallen down, apart from the usual palm fronds. So I've got a crap load of those to also be to cut the feed off and put that in the bin, but I haven't got space at the moment. It's got so much foliage. It has been a bit windy, and I guess it's autumn, and I guess that's when plants do shed a lot of leaves. So I've been a bit of work to do. Still, I've been trying to put it off because I didn't want to get anything in my eye, considering I'm still got to be very careful with being around areas where there's a bit of dust or whatever. So you've got to look after it. So that's to be important. I actually watched the 3rd episode of a new show called Landman. It's an interesting idea. It's about a guy working on the oil fields down in southern Texas, and it's quite earthy actually. He's not a particularly likeable character. He has a very tough life. It's Billy Bob Thornton. He's a very good actor, and the quality of the production is quite high. I'm quite enjoying it. One of the extraordinary things is he's actually had a spiel. He's talking to a lawyer. He had to show a car crash scene, car and plane crash involving smuggling drugs and what have you by plane. So it's got all those sort of elements in the storylines. And he was schooling her in how important it is to continue to produce oil for so many different uses. It was actually quite interesting to see a Hollywood actor giving a pro-oil spiel on camera. Very rare thing, considering Hollywood people are so woke, and most of the actors are too afraid to say anything against what the orthodoxy is. It's quite refreshing to hear a character say positive things about oil. I mean, you know, we will come up with cleaner options in the future, but it is amazingly versatile with the production of plastics and other products as a consequence. And if we didn't have it, you'd know it straight away. You'd miss it. So it's great to demonise all these fossil fuels, but we aren't over the hump yet to the transition to cleaner fuel, including fusion energy. It's not there yet. So, and if you look at your electricity bills, you know what the consequences of going renewables is. It's bloody expensive, and we have been lied to by governments about the costs of that. So I think it's becoming patently obvious that Albo and Bowen, in the case of Australia, are going to be in deep doo-doo when they try to get re-elected. I think it's going to be a tough road for them. But anyway, I've got very little time for Hollywood celebrities. I can't stand them, to be quite frank with you. And to see a guy like Billy Bob play a part like that, he may not even believe any of that stuff, but he's certainly pulling off the character well, because actually one of the other characters is played by John Hamm, and he's a classic Hollywood liberal, and he's plays Billy Bob's boss, and he was in Mad Men. He was the lead actor in Mad Men, which was a great series, I thought. But as far as these guys, Hollywood types with their personal views, political views, I don't have much time for them. But anyway, that's just me. Well, it's not just me, it's a lot of people feel that way. I know they're not. They should probably bite their tongues and shut their traps from time to time, because they're alienating themselves from a lot of the fans. So I think it's a smart move. And they're not that well. They don't have any great insights that average people don't that have. You know, they're not better than average people. They're just people who've lucked on to a job, a very lucrative job in a superficial town that is incredibly woke. So nothing great there to be looked up at, to be lauded, I don't think. But anyway, Landman, yeah, very good show. It's got over about an 8.2 rating out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. It started off low, but I think, again, that probably was the first people that watched it were probably people who are woke, and they didn't like it because it didn't suit their political views. But now it's getting a healthy audience. Well, I think I didn't even bother checking the cricket scores, because the Australian batting lineup seems to be totally hopeless at the moment. They're getting absolutely thrashed by the Indians in Perth. So I doubt whether they're still in. I'd say they probably bowled them all out. So it's a rather poor effort. So I'm sure there'll be some stern words written about the Australian 11. Oh, I did watch a little bit. I saw the main Indian bowler's got this amazingly strange, he's got very strange action when he bowls, but very effective. He sort of bowls like, I think he's a fast bowler, but he almost bowls like he's a spin bowler as well. He's got this weird action. But I haven't really been following that closely, but I'll probably have to watch a bit of it when I'm down in Melbourne, because it'll be on the telly. It's okay. I mean, I don't watch much of it, but at least it makes the sort of series interesting. If Australia's that much worse than India, well, it'd be a miracle if they put in a decent effort, I guess. So we'll see if they can. Oh, there's a bit of shade. Good stuff. Well, I'm all set with my cheap booze, hauling it back home. So the G&Ts tonight, I alternate between G&Ts and dark and stormies each night just to mix it about a bit. I just remembered, the other thing I wanted to do, and I can still do it, is see if they've got the Monteith dark beer, because I want to get that delivered. So to get a free delivery, I think you have to spend about $125. But I might do that, because I think it only takes them a few days to deliver compared to First Choice, which delivered from Brisbane. It can take at least a week or 10 days or even 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll have to do that because I really like dark beer, and it's the only way to get it cheap. This dog's always barking. Hello. I don't think he's wagging his tail. He's not looking too ferocious. He's probably just bored.